everybody. Over the past 4 to 5 months, I have posted a few videos here and there about Windows Media Center not being included in Windows 10. I've also included some posts on the Cubic Computer Company Facebook page, and I've received various kinds of feedback on either the videos or the posts. A lot of which would be big whoop, what's the deal with Windows Media Center? Where I would see comments saying like, why don't you use like VLC or Kodi, or I think another one was Plex Media Server. All these free alternatives out there that supposedly are just as good, if not better, than Windows Media Center. So I'm going to go ahead and address these kinds of things. I'm going to explain in detail about Windows Media Center and what it's really capable of doing. So let's start out with the history of Windows Media Center. Windows Media Center was really started back in the early to mid 2000s in Windows XP. There was a special version of XP just for Windows Media Center. It was called Windows XP Media Center Edition 2005. That's one of them. I think I had a couple other year models before that, but one of the highly known XP releases was XP MCE 2005. And XP MCE 2005 was only installed on specific OEM machines that came with certain hardware that was tailored for Media Center use. One of the common things was TV tuners, because a TV tuner would allow you to watch and record TV shows. Now, not all Media Center PCs from that age had TV tuners. Some of them just had really good processors and good amounts of RAM and decent video cards for the time. Now, custom builders could also build XP Media Center Edition PCs, but you had to obtain an OEM license from like Newegg or somewhere like that just to get it. Now, there was one version of Windows that was never really sold as a retail version. That was XP MCE 2005. So, think of it this way, back in these days, XP Media Center 2005, as I stated, was installed on a very specific version of computer called the Media Center computer. So, the relatively smaller amount of install rate versus the usage rate was, the ratio of installed product versus product used was probably a good bit higher back then. But then we came with Windows Vista. In Windows Vista, Microsoft decided to start including Media Center in different versions of Windows. They included it in the Home Premium and Ultimate versions of Windows Vista. It was not included in Vista Home Basic, Business, or I believe Enterprise. Those versions did not have it. So we increased the amount of machines with Windows Media Center included. But the thing is, a lot of these computers were just basic home machines that didn't have a TV tuner, didn't really have much of a use for Windows Media Center at all. So basically, we increased, back then they increased the amount of computers that came with the Media Center. So the ratio of installed product versus product used dwindled, because a lot of people didn't know what Media Center was, and a lot of computers were not really designed to even have Media Center. So basically, back in the XP days, as I mentioned, a lot of computers were tailored for Media Center use that actually included Windows Media Center. But in Windows Vista, a lot of computers that came with it were not tailored for it. They still did manufacture some machines back then, in 2007, 2008. And even in 2009, that were tailored for Media Center use. That included a TV tuner, and in some cases, in the later days of Vista, some machines included a cable card tuner. Yes, even Windows Vista can support cable card with certain updates applied to it. And as a matter of fact, I think only OEM manufacturer could obtain and install these updates. So basically, during those times, and I'm kind of repeating myself, the install rate versus usage rate was dropping, and in Windows 7 they revamped Media Center again, and they included it in even more releases of Windows, and this is where the usage rate really started to fall. In Windows 7, they included Windows Media Center in Home Premium and higher versions. So Home Premium, Professional, Ultimate, and even Enterprise had Windows Media Center. So you got to think this way: a lot of computers that were not even designated to be Media Center computers and even use the software included it anyway. For example, this machine here is Windows 7 Home Premium, and I'll go ahead and show you the software version here. Windows 7 Home Premium, Service Pack 1, Windows Media Center. But think of this way, as I was talking about, for example, at where I work, the computers have Windows 7 Enterprise, and guess what they have? Windows Media Center. No kidding, they have Windows Media Center. I can imagine probably 99% of businesses, corporate businesses, would have no use for Windows Media Center. So you can much guarantee that they're not going to use the product. So yeah, the install rate of Media Center versus the amount of product used was very poor. And here's, as I mentioned, a lot of computers were not designed for Media Center. They did not include TV tuners and things like that. But another thing is Microsoft never really seemed to advertise their product very well at all. A matter of fact, the only time I remember seeing a TV ad, a Windows TV ad that included a snippet of Media Center, was back in, I think, 2008 or 2009. It was a Vista commercial. I think it may have been one of those Mojave Project commercials. And they included like a 5 or 6 second glimpse of the program guide in Windows Media Center. This here. Basically this, has your TV, has your guide lineup, what's going to be coming on soon, and you can go ahead of time so it's coming on, schedule shows to record, and things like that. That was probably the only time I really ever seen Media Center get advertised in a Windows commercial. Let's go back to the main menu here. So yeah, now on Windows 7, if you just so happen to launch Media Center by mistake or whatever for the first time, or if you're intending on using it and you load it for the very first time after installing Windows, one of the things that it says is want TV on your PC, and it shows you how to get started. But here's the problem: many computers out there, most of them, you cannot watch TV on them. I mean, you could probably watch internet TV, but that's been phased out years ago. You can't really watch TV on many PCs out there unless you go out and buy a TV tuner, whether it be an external tuner or a built-in tuner. Now, in these cases where people just so happen to mistakenly launch Media Center, that could have been a way that they had learned what it was. But for the most part, most people did not even know what Windows Media Center was or what it could do. So now that I've explained a bit more of, kind of where it started, Windows Media Center is no doubt probably one of the most powerful DVR solutions you can get for a PC. If you're a technician, or maybe if you're somebody who knows a little about computers and knows how to customize things, you know how to install basic hardware, you can build your own. You can either customize the existing computer or build your own home theater PC and have your own DVR box exactly however you want it. You don't have to pay Time Warner Cable or any of those companies $20, $30 a month for whole house DVR or just DVR service in general. No excessive DVR fees, no big lease fees for like boxes and things like that. Now there are actually 2 boxes on the account. There's a box here that's really just a backup, and it hasn't been used in probably a couple months now. And there is a box for the garage that's used regularly. But in the ideal Windows Media Center setup, with the setup that I have with a seat and cable card tuner, the only lease I'd have to pay Time Warner Cable besides my subscription will be a whopping $2.50 lease for a cable card. That's it. No DVR fees, no guide fees, no box fees, none of that. I get to customize what size hard drive goes in this thing, how much storage I can have for DVR, and things like that. And I've even went as far as to customize the interface, with the custom picture and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, that's the thing. That's the beauty of Windows Media Center is is a very powerful interface that you can use with remote control from your couch. And it has very powerful DVR functionality. And besides the TV, it offers, you can set up media libraries to view pictures like family photos, videos, listen to music. I mean, there's just so much you can do with this. I mean, just so much. Now, I have not actually set this up yet, but anyways, there is so much you can do with Media Center besides the TV. Now, in the case that you don't have the tuner installed on your computer, yes, you can use Windows Media Center to like watch Netflix, watch movies, and store on your computer, play DVDs, playback music, look at pictures, videos, and tons of other things. But the real thing that Media Center is known for, that the hardcore users use it for, is TV. For example, let's look at the recorded TV on this machine. So this thing, if it wasn't for Media Center, if I want a DVR service, I'd have to pay for a TiVo device, maybe an Xbox One, but I'll never have one of those. Or I'd pay Time Warner Cable for DVR service and let them dictate what I can, how much I can store, how many shows I can record at the same time, things like that. Pay somebody else to tell me how I cannot do things with the box that they supply. That's the thing with Media Center, is it allows you to be in control of your own setup. So anyways, I have my own personal DVR. This is the Mid-Tower Deluxe. This is Mom and Dad's, and they do record a lot of stuff. Mainly Mom does. She records a lot of stuff on this. So, and the beauty of this machine here is this machine has more DVR storage than probably the best Time Warner DVR they can supply. Like, for example, let me show you exactly how much we have here. Not in extras. It's getting late. This machine has 218.5 hours of HD storage available. That's more than what Time Warner offers. I think they offer like 150, something like that. Yeah, a good bit more. We have 2 terabytes of storage available, basically. A 2 terabyte hard drive in this thing, just for TV storage. The operating system is actually on a solid state drive. So let's go ahead and go back to the main menu. So yeah, that's the thing is, Windows Media Center, it offers a very nice interface and it's a very powerful DVR interface. And so anyways, now I was going to address these free alternatives and things like that. I hear people talk about, well, why don't you just use VLC? Take a careful look at this setup here. Now, I'm sure a good bit of Media Center users do use Windows Media Center at a traditional computer desk with a keyboard and a mouse, but that's an entertainment center. That's not a desk with a keyboard and mouse. The only input device for that computer. Now, you think VLC is going to work with that? Of course not. And I seriously doubt a lot of those free alternatives out there will work with that as well. But I'll come back to that in just a moment. Let's talk about Windows 10. So yeah, it's basically, I'll be honest with you, I shot this video twice, but the camera messed up both times, so I swapped cameras, and so my video is probably not as well put together as my previous one. So anyways, in Windows 8, so let's go and talk about Windows 8 real quick, which I think I already did. Windows 8, they basically limited what computers had Media Center. If you want Media Center, if you wanted the Windows 7 Media Center in Windows 8, you had to buy Pro and then spend additional money on a add-on pack to get a slightly restricted Media Center. Windows 7 Media Center, you can use third-party extenders like a Seat and Echo. With the Windows 8 or 8.1 Media Center, you cannot. Your only option is the Xbox 360. And no, the Xbox One cannot be used as an extender because Microsoft sees Windows Media Center as dead. So why would they quote unquote waste their time with it? So anyways, in Windows 10 they dropped support for Media Center completely. Yeah, even if you had 8.1 Pro and paid for Media Center and you upgrade your computer to Windows 10, you'll lose that feature. So I imagine there's probably several people out there who have upgraded to Windows 10 already and are pretty fumed to find out that it does not have Media Center. Because in Windows 8.1 or 8, if you upgrade from that and have Media Center installed, it will warn you. However, if you have Windows 7 and you use the Get Windows 10 app to upgrade your computer to Windows 10, no, it does not warn you that you're losing Windows Media Center. It does not warn you at all. Once you're upgraded, oh, there you go, no Media Center. Congratulations. And I can imagine it's got to be a crappy feeling. Now, what gets me is Microsoft did not advertise this product well at all, and in Windows 8 they further limited its availability, so it's no wonder not many people have used it. So basically, earlier in the spring they mentioned, one of the representatives on Twitter mentioned that Windows Media Center will no longer be a part of Windows. It will not be included in Windows 10. It will not officially be in Windows 10. And what absolutely kills me is how far Microsoft is off. It's how far off base they are from their users. Not long afterwards, they posted an update saying for you Windows Media Center users on Windows 7 and 8.1, we will be offering a DVD playback function soon, later this year. Really, like most of the Media Center users use Windows Media Center, the program that can watch and record live TV shows, like they use that to do this, to play DVDs. Are you serious? What is this, 2005? DVDs are becoming a thing of the past. Yes, once in a while, this TV box may play a DVD. Sometimes my mom might get a movie from Netflix and she'll want to watch it on the computer in here, so she'll pop in a DVD player and play a DVD. Or sometimes my dad might get a DVD from his friend he wants to watch, pop it in and play it. But this feature is used very, very sparingly. It's not used much at all. And that's what gets me, is they seriously think that a DVD playback option, which they're going to charge for later on, they seriously think that Windows Media Center users, that the majority of Media Center users play freaking DVDs as the main function of Media Center. Let's catch up with reality. Most of the hardcore Media Center users out there do not watch DVDs on their Media Center PC. They watch TV. They go to the guide, they watch and record shows. I mean, it's a DVR. Why would you want to watch DVDs on this when you can just record TV shows all the time? I mean, there's so much functionality there. And aside from, the DVR and TV, you have, as I mentioned, all these other options you have for like music, pictures and things like that. So, it's sad that Microsoft is that freaking far off base. It amazes me. It is, I just don't know what to say. They really think that a DVD playback option is going to solve all our problems. No! Now, anyways, I was speaking with my coworker about this the other day, and he brought up a valid point about Windows Media Center and lack of it being in Windows 10. Is they're trying to push the Xbox One. The Xbox initially was a gaming console. Now they're supposed to be making it out as a computer that can hook up to your TV and be in your living room. Just think, 10 years ago, that was the main vision of Windows Media Center, was to bring a standard computer to the living room. Now that might be fun. That might be easy enough for an average Joe who doesn't really want to poke around and configure things in the computer or Windows Media Center. But if you're willing to spend some time in it, Windows Media Center is far better. I mean, it's far better. As I mentioned previously, it gives you the freedom to build your own box and customize it how you want it. And they're going to take this feature away. Windows Media Center was never really developed on much further after 2009 with the release of Windows 7. But amazingly, after that year, in 2010, 2011, several companies came out with cable card devices that allowed Windows Media Center to be used with digital cable. And Windows 7 Media Center is officially the first one that can support digital cable really much out of the box with the Play Ready plugin for HDCP and all that kind of stuff. In Vista, you could some machines that had an update installed could do it, but really Windows 7 was the first one to really offer the full-fledged feature of being able to play back on cable card devices. And let's get back to those free alternatives things. All those free alternatives out there that you guys mentioned of, like Kodi and VLC and all that stuff, those are all null and void if you have digital cable. Sure, some of them might be able to plug up and recognize a cable card tuner, but let's say if you watch, let's say on Time Warner Cable, any channel besides local is copy flagged. Any sort of channel that's copy flagged, you got to have Windows Media Center to play back that channel. Yes, Media Center is currently the only PC platform, the only piece of software on a PC that is certified by Cable Labs for the playback and recording of protected digital cable content. So, all those free alternatives, just don't even mention them because they are null and void for users out there who have digital cable. And the way cable companies are going nowadays, if you're going to use Media Center on cable, you have to have a cable card set up because really, Time on Cable is going on digital. So you can't use those analog tuners from like Hapage and brands like that. And no, those clear QM tuners, no, they won't work either because Time on Cable has scrambled everything. It's either digital adapter, set-top box, DVR box, or cable card device. Those 4 options. So if you're going to use Windows Media Center, that's pretty much your only option is to have a cable card device. So all those free alternatives, they might be useful if you have a set of rabbit ears in your TV. But yeah, that is the big thing of Windows Media Center that a lot of people don't seem to understand is Media Center is the only platform on PC that will recognize and be able to play back HDCP, DRM flagged channels. It's the only one that'll do it. So let's go back to Windows 10 and talk about that a little bit more. Microsoft, their excuse for not including it is low user base, and in Windows 8, their excuse for not including it in the home version was licensing costs. It costs lots of money to license that DVD playback codec, and it's funny. In Windows 7, Windows Media Player can play back a DVD, but in Windows 8 and Windows 10, it cannot. It cannot do it. And it's Windows Media Player 12, by the way. It's the same freaking thing that was included in Windows 7. Now think this way, back in Windows XP, Windows Media Center, really to even play back TV channels, if you did a custom install of it, you had to provide your own codecs to make it work. Now in Vista and 7 and in versions onward, they did include those codecs already in there, so it was pretty much set up and go. But XP Media Center, you did have to provide your own codecs to make things work properly. So just throw the codec excuse out the window because it's not valid. Think of it this way: XP, it didn't come with codecs. You had to provide your own. So what's the difference nowadays? Now in Windows 10, the reason why they're not including Media Center, as I mentioned, is they say low user base. It's not, software-wise, it's not that they can't do it, it's that they flat out refuse to do it. If you do a lot of research online on this, you will find articles where, hackers and, hardcore techies have got Media Center to work in Windows 10. Even some of the more recent Inside previews, they got it to work. It killed the activation of the operating system, but if you open Windows Media Center and looked in the About Windows Media Center software version, it would say Windows Media Center, it would say Windows 10 Pro with Windows Media Center capabilities. So it's not that it was not able to work, it's that Microsoft simply refused to do so. Even though they could have been paid some money for it. In Windows 8, they did charge for it, and some people did buy it. Matter of fact, during the first month or two of Windows 8's release, if you have Pro, you could get Windows Media Center for free. You could just, I mean, you could reserve your product key and get Windows Media Center just like that. No problems. Yeah, I'll be honest. Microsoft is so freaking off base with Media Center. They think it's dead. I'll tell you right now, no, it's not. It's not dead by any means. For the user base that uses it, it's still, even though this version of Media Center is 6 years old, it's still very well capable of doing today's things. I mean, it works, for the most part, it works very well at what it does. There is a couple of bugs that have never really been worked out that irritates me. The most common bug is the video error bug. After 48 hours of constant TV playback, Windows Media Center will display video error. And you have to restart Media Center to get things to work properly again. In additional 48 hours, bam, again. And it's annoying, but you know, it's something I can work around to save probably $30 a month on my cable bill. And you know, if Microsoft cries saying that they're not getting enough money to support the development of Media Center, well, think of it like this. I honestly think that Windows Media Center should not be included directly in the operating system, for technical reasons and for reasons as I just mentioned. For example, in Windows 7, if your Media Center gets badly corrupted, you can try disabling and re-enabling the feature. You can try SFC/scan down. You can try those things, but in a lot of cases, if your Media Center gets really screwed up, you gotta wipe and reload Windows because it's built into the operating system. And I honestly think for that reason and for money reasons, they should sell they should market Media Center as its own separate product. Like, let's say Microsoft Office. Let's say if Office gets messed up, let's say if your Office files get corrupted, you can just reinstall the product in like 15 minutes. Have it reinstalled. And I think Windows Media Center, if they just sold it as its own product, as let's say, for example, let's think of a name that they would call it. Let's say Microsoft Entertainment Solutions 2015 or Microsoft Media Center 2015, just for an example. Market it as that kind of product. Sell it as a downloadable product. You can either download it from a website like Newegg or somewhere, or buy it on a CD or DVD and install it that way, like Office. I think Media Center would be better off because sell it for probably $39.95 or $49.95, how much they want to charge for it. Probably the latter. Then Microsoft likes to charge a lot of money for things. Sell $50 for a 3-user license and maybe charge $5 per additional computer. I think it would fare well. But the way they're going now with this, it's totally not right. So yeah, this has been a pretty long rant. I'm getting pretty tired. So I gotta do a Windows 10 video after this. But yeah, now that Windows 10 has been released, I'm gonna do a final video. This may not even be a final video, because I may have more to follow up later on. Yeah, this is my opinions on Windows Media Center in general with Windows 10, how it should be done. So anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Any questions or comments? Feel free to ask them. Thanks for watching.